Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. If you're lucky enough to have an embroidery machine, you can create great embroidery designs like this. Now, it all depends on what embroidery machine you might have. You might have an entry level where all of your designs are relatively small. Or you may have embroidery hoops on your machine that are about this long, which I do. I have a high-end embroidery machine that costs a lot of money. But an entry-level one, you might be able to find an entry-level one at this date in time, maybe around $1,000, maybe if you're lucky, even less. Or check out getting a resale or a floor model because you can save a lot of money on it. Now, I decided to go ahead and do a spring towel using a tea towel. And tea towels are much cheaper than using a regular towel. These come 2 in a pack and you can buy them at Walmart. So I found this design in my machine and it says spring on it. I decided it needed something else, so I added welcome spring. So in your embroidery machine, look for an option that's called array. And when you're printing out or when you're selecting your letters, you'll see an option that says array. And what it does, you can decide whether you can make it curved or at a diagonal. And you can even change how much it curves or how deep of a diagonal it is. Now, tea towels have these little loops stitched down into the corner on there. I'm going to be removing this, and they're easy to take off because it's fairly large stitches on there because I want to add an embellishment to the bottom of this towel. So when I first stitched this out, I really didn't know what I wanted. So I'm going to take you through the process I go through to figure out how to complete this and make it as a nice gift for someone or just for yourself. So I want to put something at the bottom. So I could do something like this. It's got little circles that have been cut in half and stitched on. And this is really pretty. But this really isn't exactly what I wanted, so I couldn't imagine it on the towel. And then there's this one. They're just little points. They're called prairie points. And these are stitched on the bottom. But these prairie points don't really go with this towel. This is a very feminine towel. So let's look at some other options. This is 1-inch wide rickrack. And you could just stitch this across the bottom. Now, it comes in a variety of colors. This is blue. I've seen it in yellow and red and in a variety of other colors. They're not readily available, let's say, at Walmart. You won't find this. In some of your quilt fabric shops, you can find these. You can even go on Amazon.com and find them there, but just look up 1-inch wide rickrack. And when you're going to stitch rickrack like this onto anything, whether it's a towel or table run or whatever, you need to stitch on both edges, okay, all the way across, including up at the top. Otherwise, it may buckle and roll, and you don't want that. Also, on your ends, let me take this tape off, you need to cut your ends straight so it's not raggedy like this. Then you want to fold it under and place it around to the towel edge so that it can't be seen. Now you could just do your smaller rickrack and do 1 or 2 rows, maybe 3 rows going across. But when you stitch rickrack like this on, this isn't going to roll and buckle nearly as much at all. So I usually will stitch right down the center of the rickrack. And again, you would fold the end of your rickrack around to the back side of the towel. Now this is some check ribbon. This actually looks very pretty. It's feminine looking because it's a very light blue. It goes with the blue in here. So you, again, could just stitch this across. But if you're going to stitch this on, you need to stitch again on both edges of this ribbon. And of course, fold the ends of the ribbon around to the back side. And then this is a checked ribbon, which comes in a variety of colors. I buy most of my trims from Walmart. They have actually quite a nice selection. Now this is really pretty. Now there's really no kind of aqua blue in this, but it does look really nice because it's pale and it's very feminine looking. And again, you can get it in a variety of colors. Now I've decided I want to use the smaller rickrack, and I've chosen 3 colors, 3 different rows. I'll probably space them about a ½ inch apart. And again, remember, all you need to do is stitch down the middle. Make sure you fold the ends around to the back side of the towel. Now, the next problem I have is, what do I want to do up here? I can leave it just like it is. But one of the things that's really nice about tea towels is they're really long. So I want to cut this towel in half. I can actually get 2 towels out of this and put something up here at the top to hang it with. So that's exactly what I did with this towel. I cut it in half and was able to get 2 towels out of 1. So I could make something like this. This has got Velcro on it, and it's got a different color on the inside, and it shows a little bit because I went with the colors in the towel. And then it comes in at a diagonal here with a little button on it. So I could do that up here, but it doesn't feel quite as feminine. It wouldn't go with this. So let me show you another option. This is one of my favorite decorative towels that I've made. So on this, again, it's got Velcro in here. This towel was cut in half, and in the seams, I selected rickrack. So I'm going to show you some samples of fabric that I may or may not use. I don't know yet because I'm trying to figure it out. So this is a really pretty pink, and it goes with the pink in the towel. And because there's white in here, I could use white rickrack to accent it, or I could even select a darker pink rickrack to be in the seams. Then here is this purple. Same thing, I could use white rickrack with it, and again, there is a little bit of purple in this. Here is the baby blue using white rickrack, and then again, here is the yellow, and it has white. Now, I will show you in a future tip of the week how it actually turned out. So I'll put that in the next episode. So that's the process that I go through when I'm doing any project. I take it one step at a time, lay things against the project or other pieces of fabric to see if they go together. Even if you don't have an embroidery machine, you can find really nice towels. Joanne sells them. That's where I got this one that already has an embroidery design in it. And you can do everything exactly the same way that I did on this. In other words, go through that same process. It might be that you do very little to it. Maybe you just put some pom-pom fringe at the very end. Maybe you don't like this little band. And if you cut the towel in half, there is no embroidery design on this end. So it's really up to you what you want to do. When you're doing sewing machine embroidery, you have different hoop sizes. Some machines only have 1 small hoop, others may have 4. I have 4 for mine in a variety of sizes. When you put your interfacing into your hoop, it needs to come up over the edges a little bit, and your fabric does too. Now, see this? This is the hole where my design was. And so when I tore it off, I had all of this left over. So what I like to do is I'll cut this part out, save the pieces, so I will use it for other sewing machine applique projects. Now here is a sewing machine applique project. I did a long time ago. It's got little hearts on it. Usually, often, when I'm doing sewing machine applique, I will have paper on the back, which you tear off later. But because things are getting so expensive, I take some of my smaller pieces left over from my embroidery machine projects and I place it on the back of my machine applique, and then I tear it off. Well, I hope this tip of the week was helpful to you. I hope you also get into sewing machine embroidery. So put it on your Christmas list that you want an embroidery machine. Look for sales. They come out all the time. And with the way prices are going now, you might find a lot of deals on things. And look for secondhand machines. There's always someone who's upgrading and they want to get rid of their old one. Also, try working on sewing machine applique. You can get some beautiful designs learning how to do that. Now, to get more information about a variety of projects, scroll down to the description section. Click on Show More or the down arrow and it will expand open and you will see all kinds of links. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.